Did you know that 85% of people think they're not creative? That's a staggering number, especially when you consider that creativity is one of the most in-demand skills in today's world. From business leaders to artists, creative thinking is a superpower. Yet, so many of us feel stuck when trying to come up with new ideas. What if I told you that thinking outside the box isn't something you're born with? It's a skill you can learn. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a student, or someone simply looking to solve problems more creatively, the ability to break free from conventional thinking can change everything. In this video, we'll dive into strategies that can help you think more creatively, even when you're feeling stuck. You'll learn how to embrace chaos, turn daydreams into solutions, and use constraints to your advantage. We'll even explore the power of discomfort and how it can push you to new levels of creativity. Get ready to discover techniques that have helped some of the world's most innovative minds achieve their success. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Unlock your inner mad scientist. Creativity often thrives in chaos, but how do you tap into it when you're stuck? Start by embracing the mess. Instead of forcing yourself to follow a perfect, linear path, try disrupting your regular routine. Chaos sparks creativity because it breaks you out of predictable patterns. Think of it like mixing random ingredients to create something new. Steve Jobs famously said, "Creativity is just connecting things, and chaos is the perfect catalyst for those connections." A study by the University of California found that people who engage in unpredictable activities are more likely to come up with creative solutions. Don't be afraid to step into uncharted territory. Try working in a new environment, changing your schedule, or brainstorming with a team that challenges your thinking. This change in scenery and process will shake things up. Even messy ideas lead to breakthroughs. Remember, great inventions don't always come from well-thought-out plans. They often come from playing with possibilities, exploring wild ideas, and following new instincts. Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." So, allow yourself to think outside the norm, and embrace chaos as your creative companion. Chapter 2. The art of daydreaming. No, seriously. When was the last time you let your mind wander without any agenda? We tend to see daydreaming as a waste of time, but in fact, it's one of the most powerful creative tools. A study from the University of California found that daydreaming can lead to better problem solving. Your brain works through ideas, even when you're not consciously focused on them. This is why so many aha moments happen during walks, showers, or moments of boredom. The key is to give yourself permission to let go of structured thinking and just let your mind explore. It might feel unproductive, but this is when creative insights often arise. Do you know that the inventor of the modern zipper, Whitcomb Judson, came up with the idea while lost in a daydream? It was a spontaneous thought that led to a life-changing invention. If you allow yourself the freedom to let your mind wander, you'll find that creative ideas start popping up when you least expect them. Incorporating daydreaming into your routine doesn't have to be a long process. Even 5 minutes of zoning out during the day can help you see things in new ways. Your brain is wired to make connections while it's not overburdened with tasks, which is why daydreaming can help you think outside the box. If you're enjoying these creative strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got more amazing tips coming your way. Chapter 3. Reverse engineering ideas. When you're stuck in a creative rut, try reversing the problem. Instead of asking, "How can I solve this?" ask, "How could I make this problem worse?" This reverse engineering technique forces you to approach the issue from a completely different angle. It may sound strange, but often, the opposite of a bad idea will spark a good one. For example, consider the story of the Post-it note. It began as a failure. Scientists were trying to create a super strong adhesive but ended up with a weak, repositionable one instead. Instead of abandoning the project, they reversed their thinking. What if this could be used in a completely different way? This shift led to the invention of a product that now generates billions of dollars annually. By breaking problems down and thinking in reverse, you allow your brain to identify new pathways that might have been blocked before. And this is backed by science. A study published in Psychological Science found that thinking about a problem from the opposite angle often leads to more creative solutions. Instead of feeling trapped, reverse your thinking to open up fresh possibilities. Reverse engineering works in every field, from design to problem solving in business. When stuck, reframe your problem and look at it from the wrong perspective. You might be surprised by how many creative solutions emerge when you take the road less traveled. Chapter 4. Borrowing brilliance. Creativity doesn't exist in isolation. Great ideas often come from mixing different influences together. This is where the concept of creative borrowing comes into play. It's about looking outside your immediate field and drawing inspiration from different sources. Take Leonardo da Vinci, for example. His art was deeply influenced by his study of anatomy, engineering, and even nature. He didn't just stay within the boundaries of painting. Modern-day innovators like Elon Musk have built their ideas by borrowing from multiple industries. Musk combined ideas from the automotive, aerospace, and tech sectors to create Tesla and SpaceX. This blend of knowledge helped him think beyond the obvious. According to a report from the Harvard Business Review, leaders who seek out insights from unrelated fields are more likely to innovate. One simple strategy for creative borrowing is to look at what's working in a completely different domain. For instance, the way nature handles energy conservation inspired the creation of solar panels. Biomimicry is a great example of how borrowing ideas from nature can lead to innovative solutions. You can start small by reading outside your usual genre or attending conferences outside your niche. By deliberately exposing yourself to new experiences, you'll start to make surprising connections that lead to your next creative breakthrough. Chapter 5. The Power of Limits. In a world that glorifies endless possibilities, it may seem counterintuitive, but limitations can actually enhance creativity. When faced with constraints, you're forced to think more carefully and resourcefully. This is why some of the best creative work comes from tight deadlines or small budgets. If you're not given infinite resources, you'll need to work within your means and find innovative ways to make the most of them. Consider the story of Pixar's Toy Story, the first full-length feature film created entirely with CGI. The team worked with limited technology and time, but that pushed them to innovate in ways they wouldn't have otherwise. The result? A groundbreaking film that forever changed animation. This idea of creative limitation is also supported by research. A study from the Journal of Creative Behavior showed that people perform more creatively when they face specific restrictions. It seems that too many options can overwhelm us and stunt creativity. Next time you feel stuck, set a few creative boundaries for yourself. Limit your tools, set a time limit, or impose a theme. These constraints can challenge you to think in ways that are more imaginative and unique. Chapter 6. Get comfortable with discomfort. Creativity often arises when you push yourself outside your comfort zone. But what happens when the discomfort feels overwhelming? Instead of shying away from it, learn to lean into it. Frustration is often a sign that you're on the brink of something new. Creativity doesn't always come easily, and breakthroughs usually follow moments of tension or struggle. This is something the famous psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi touched on in his book Flow. He argued that the most creative people are those who embrace challenges and discomfort, finding joy in the process rather than only in the outcome. It's this ability to stay focused and positive through difficulty that helps people make creative leaps. A powerful example comes from the fashion industry. Designer Coco Chanel famously said, "In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different." She embraced the discomfort of pushing against traditional fashion norms, eventually creating styles that revolutionized women's clothing. If you've ever hit a creative block, remember this: discomfort means growth. Use it as a sign to keep going. Breakthroughs are usually found when you're willing to push through the hard parts. The next time you face frustration, try to change your mindset. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, view it as a challenge, something that, once conquered, will lead to creative success. By embracing discomfort, you train yourself to stay engaged with the process rather than giving up. The more you embrace challenges, the easier it becomes to find creative solutions when things aren't going smoothly. Creativity isn't always comfortable, but it's worth the effort. If you've enjoyed these strategies, make sure to subscribe for more tips on how to unlock your creativity and take your ideas to the next level.